Hello, welcome to the queue. Operation Thunderball. It is turn 10, January 1941. And that's correct, there is no money for FEC as the French power of the Pacific Theater has fallen, as it usually does, to a determined Japanese attack. Took some casualties off the Japan, so that was okay. Would have been nice if it had just been one guy left. But I digress. From last turn, we have a correction. There was a convoy raid by Germany that I had put down as 1, and it actually was 2. So that means we overspent by $1. So we're going to take that militia off of Scotland. That will leave us $1 left over. And this torpedo boat destroyer is Yugoslavia, so that's my reminder. I've got it marked to move because I missed it last turn. But when I replace units, if I haven't moved it, I'm moving it. All right. So that leaves Britain with $25, $29, $30. So for $29, I believe, if I got this right, we've got a Marine, an anti-aircraft gun, 2 infantry into London. South Africa, an infantry. We have 2 militia upgrades, 2 militia, and a colonial infantry. So that will be 8, 12, 20, and 3 infantry for 9, 29. For Anzac, they were convoyed for $2, so that leaves them with 7. So we're going to buy a sub, which we have the construction, improved construction, for 5, and a militia for 2. And then we're going to go for long-range aircraft at an 8 and factories at a 12. So let's get the old dice rolling here. And we got 1. Yeah, that's a 6. So what was long-range aircraft? So we're going to move that up to 2. And that'll be it for that. So let's go with our movements. We've got 1 combat. Well, actually, I guess a couple. We've got this destroyer here in A48, coming up 1, 2, 3 into A35, and we're going to pair it with this seaplane from Gibraltar, 1, 2. We'll go on Maritime Air Patrol, go after that little coastal sub again. I think that guy's in port. So that is those 2 attacks. And for grins, we're going to take this destroyer in A28 and put it on escort duty. This destroyer in A21 is going to come down 1, 2, 3 and go, you know what? Maybe he can't do that with that combat going on. So let's bring another destroyer from M2. That's what we'll do. He'll just come out and go into escort duty. So I just happened to see that when I was moving my guys there. All right, so that is it for the combat. Let's go get some dice. All right. So put that here. Got some U.S. subs in the way. All right, so up here, let's have a roll. We're going to have a 4 and a 3 for the seaplane. Couldn't think of what it was called. Seaplane at a 3, misses. 4 for the destroyer. Dang it. The coastal sub gets a fire back at a 2. Oh my gosh. This coastal sub is getting worse by the minute. I am not happy. All right. So much for the vaunted British Navy. Thwarted by 1 sub. I guess I should have put one on, but I was planning on having that damn thing in there. All right, well, we're going to switch up our moves then. So he's going to go off of, we're into non-combat now, off of the Maritime Air Patrol, land back in Gibraltar. All right, so this is submerged. Otherwise, we'd still be rolling dice. So we'll put him in the little submerged box. which will allow our destroyers and ships to move freely. All right, so we've got a light carrier here in A48. We'll come up 1, 2, 3. And we're going to bring this tactical bomber off of Gibraltar, 1, 2, and he will land on that. And let's bring up this heavy cruiser from A48 with a naval base. 1, 2, 3 over into M2. All right, so well, while we're down here, let's deal with these two Anzac ships. We do have a naval port there, so we're going to go from A48, 1, 2, and we're going to sail right by my sub movement note, 3, and we can come out on P75 or P68. So let's go on over there and see where we're going to end up. And it seems like, let me move this up, no naval bases here, so we'll stick with P78 because that'll give us some better range on the south side. I say that, let me look here real quick. You know what? Let's go up here to P77 because that gives me better range with going either direction. All right, so that was a destroyer and a light cruiser, and they're going backwards. Let's turn around. All right, well, we're over here. Let's just do our movements. We got a coastal sub in P52, dropping down to P62. We got a regular sub in P53, coming over to P52. And we have this transport, and it's at a naval facility. As far as my strategic naval movement, I only have 2 now, but I'm just moving this one. So it will start in P29, and it come 1, 2, and it goes to P76. Let's go on over there. P76 is 3, 4 into P4 or A40, and 5 will end up because we have a naval base here in Guyana, British Guiana. All right, so that is it there. Let's go back and continue our movement in the Indian Ocean. We've got a sub in I-10 coming over 1, 2, 3 into I-5. All right. Don't have any other British movement over there. Let me set this down here. We have a Anzac transport in M2 that is going to grab a infantry and a marine from Gibraltar. Come over 1, 2, drop them off into Lower Egypt, and we will go into the port here at the lower Egypt there. All right, so what that means, this will be my import marker. So I'll just put that here so we know that they are in port. All right, next movements. Torpedo boat destroyer, it's marked. All right, so we're going to come out of M5 down 1, 2 into M4 because it's all he can move. All right, so now I'm rethinking my carrier. I think I'm going to move this carrier from M2 out into A44. All right, it's the light carrier and a fighter. We're going to end this stinking combat or coastal sub once and for all. All right, so I don't need that marker. I'm going to move this transport. Let's see what I got here. All right, trying to adjust things so I can see and give a good count when we're done. All right, let's go up north, and we're going to clear some ships out of A21. We're going to bring a heavy cruiser, 2 destroyers, and Well, let's just go with those right now. And we'll go with the naval facility. 1, 2, 3, 4 into M2. So we're going to add another heavy cruiser, 2 more destroyers to there. The other destroyer is going to come down 1, 2 and hang out with this stinking coastal sub. All right, so now I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to leave that there. Hopefully we've got him boxed in finally. And let's go around to the other side and move those ships. All right. So these guys are staying, well, that transport is not. He's going to move. He's going to load up an infantry and a marine, and I will move him with that naval port. 1, 2, 3, and we will drop him off in Gibraltar, or both of those guys in Gibraltar. Might as well grab that transport while I'm there. He's going to come from that naval port. 1, 2, what is it? 1, 2, 3. So he's coming from A44 into A21. All right. So now we'll have 2 transports there. All right. Now let's move these ships out of the, since the German Navy is gone, they are not needed. So from A23 is a coastal defense ship. Moving 2, because I think I have a port. Yeah, right there. A heavy cruiser. And a torpedo boat destroyer. From A6, we have a cruiser, light cruiser, and a destroyer, all heading into this sea zone. All right, the only thing I think I might do with the ships, I knocked over that militia. Sorry to be thinking on the fly. Is because that guy's on escort duty here, I'm going to back this destroyer that came from London or A21 and stop him there in A44. You know what though? He doesn't need to be on escort duty because that carrier with the fighter qualifies as an escort duty. So yeah, we'll put him back then. You know what? Who cares? We'll leave him there. It is what it is. All right, so that is that. What other moves might I have? I'm wondering about this battle cruiser. Nah, we'll leave him. Leaving him there. All right, so Northern Ireland, that force will move to Southern England. So that is a medium bomber, paratrooper, air transport. I think I'm done. You know what? I'm just going to leave this here and grab the placement for England. Got to move my board around a little bit. All right. So we are placing in London a second AA gun, 2 more infantry, and a marine. So the count in England, or London, is 6 regular infantry, 1 marine, 4 militia, 2 AA guns. And of course, we've got our lovely scramble from the mainland. Oh, that's what that marker was. I had a marker here. I was moving this fighter in for the scramble as well. Since I have radar, I can scramble everything. All right, that's the end of that. Let's go south. And place down here. Not very good camera work there. In Cape Town is 1 infantry. Now we've got 2 militia upgrades. One of those is here in Belgian Congo. And I didn't mark where the other one was. Oh, it's over here in Aden. And then we have 2 militia and a colonial infantry to place. The colonial infantry goes into Western Egypt, a militia goes into Aden, and a militia goes into Cyprus. And that should be it for Britain. So they spent 29, moved their coastal sub, saved $1. Sydney, sub, militia, so we'll just put that chip under there for 3 militia. I got a green chip. I'm going to pull off 3 of these infantry. That's 4, so we'll put 1 back on there. All right, so that's what's in Sydney, and then the sub goes at the shipyard there. All right, so let's collect some dough, shall we? England is at 26 with a 1 wartime bonus, so they get their 29 back. So that'll be 30 for next turn, unless that stinking little sub convoys me for some more. All right. Anzac is at 7, and they do not get their bonus because there's a Japanese ship within our sea zone lane. So this will all be gone. Well, I can take that off later. So they'll be at 7, 30. Now into France, they have 8 to spend, so 2 infantry, 1 militia. And we'll come over here. We've got some movements for the French as well. We have a transport grabbing a marine and an infantry. And we do have a port, so we go 1, 2, 3, and they will land into Lower Egypt. So there's the marine, there's the infantry, and go into port as well in Lower Egypt. Gotta hide, gotta hide. We've got a torpedo boat destroyer, which will go over 1 to A40, or from A44 to M2. All right, let's move some land units. From northern Algeria will be an infantry and an artillery. And where am I placing those other 2? Yeah, I think, yeah, we'll move this. I can place that guy there, that's true. All right, so the last movements will be here. We've got an infantry moving into Egypt from Transjordan, and I'm just going to move this guy down 1, leaving Syria open, but I don't want to do that, but we're going to build there, so that will be it. I could rail him, but I'm thinking I'm going to rail this Foreign Legion guy up from Sudan into Lower Egypt, so that'll be my 1 rail movement for the African continent. All right, I believe we're done. Let's place out those glorious French units. So the militia is going to go down here in Madagascar. We're going to put 1 infantry here in Chad, Syria, or Tunisia. Most likely Italy's not going to war, so let's go to Syria for now. Oop, knocked over my colonial infantry. So that should be it. So France, though, lost in the Japanese advance there 2 in the Vietnam area. So they're only going to have 6 for next turn. And that is it for the Commonwealth France turn. Next up is Italy, and we will see you guys later.